1971 to 1974. Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Trawler.
Game 319, Royals at Twins.
Welcome back, baseball fans, the 1971-74 Summer Carryover League. We are back in the American League tonight with a best-of-7 series in the Midwest between the Royals and Twins. In this era, the Royals are a young team trying to get better, improving on their 69 expansion, and the Twins are trying to keep it going from the mid to late 60s. Winners of the American League West the first two times before Oakland took over. They're running a very old team out there. It's a clash of young and old, and we're wondering what's going to happen here. And this has been a wild, weird series, folks. Let's go right into the games. Game 1, series opens in Minnesota. Roger Nelson, not Prince Rogers Nelson, but Roger Nelson for the Royals, and Jim Cott for the Twins. Their best years for each guy, and they played that way. They pitched that way. Bottom of the first, RBI single by Oliva. Top of the third, RBI single by Fred Patek. It stays that way. It goes into extra innings. Cott's line, 9 innings, 7 hits, that 1 run, 3 strikeouts. But in the 10th, Bill Campbell comes in, a very young Bill Campbell here, part of the new regime, but he gives up a run on 3 hits. RBI sac fly by Cookie Rojas. Bottom of the 10th, Doug Bird having a nice year closing games out for the Royals. Gives up a hit and a couple of Ks. You get a road win, hint hint, for your Kansas City Royals, 2-1. And Royals like to steal a win on the road. And in game 2, what do the Twins do here? Do they even this thing up? It's Marty Patton for the Royals. It's Tom Murphy for the Twins. This is looking good early for the Twins. A 2-run homer by a red-hot Tony Oliva. He's having a heck of a series. They get a sac fly in the 3rd. It's 3-0. You get a John Mayberry homer, 3-1. A game-tying homer by Paul Popovich, of all people, 3-3. The Twins do respond in the bottom of the 7th, knocking out Marty Patton and getting an RBI, a single by Jim Holt. But in the 9th, trying to close this thing out, Twins closer Pete Reichert melts down, double walk, single double. That'll just about do it. Blown save, 3 runs in the 9th. Royals, 6-4 victor. Doug Bird gets another save. And the Royals, back-to-back road wins, and it's looking pretty much that the Twins are dead in the water in last place and just getting older and older. But when we go to Kansas City, don't count the old men out. In Game 3, the Royals want to slam the door, but it's going to be Dave Goltz for the Twins, Paul Splittor for the Royals. In the 3rd inning, the teams each got runs. RBI double by Phil Roof, RBI single Ed Kirkpatrick. This is a dead even game, 4-4 through 5. The Royals get a sac fly by Mayberry in the 6th. They take a 5-4 lead into the 9th, looking to go up 3-0, and that's when the winds suddenly change in these two franchises. Phil Roof grounds out. Cleo James flies out, and with one more out to get to go up 3-0 in this series, Doug Bird asked to close out his 3rd consecutive game. Maybe he's getting a little tired. A double by Killebrew, a double by Tony Oliva, and a 2-run homer by Larry Heisel, and they blow the save of the 9th, and the Twins get a win, 7-5. So it's about the road team suddenly. Where's this coming from, folks? Let's go to Game 4. Game 4. It is Burt Behome 11 for the Twins, Mike Heedlin for the Royals. Great pitching duo here, duel here. You have a George Mitterwald homer, another Tony Oliva homer. You got an RBI single by Amos Otis. In the 6th inning, a run scores on the dreaded catcher's pass ball plus wild pitch. So the Twins have a 3-1 lead. This game, it's all about the pitching in the 9th inning. Blyleven's going for a complete game, gives up a double. Then an error by Rod Carew with 2 outs, so they go to Bill Campbell to see if this young kid can get the final out. He gets Amos Otis to ground back to the mound. Twins road win. 4 straight road wins for the Twins Royals, and both teams are scratching their heads as we are basically restarting the series. You might as well throw those 4 games in the trash. Nobody gained anything. 2-2, and no home team could do anything. So let's see what happened in Game 5 in Kansas City. Surely the Royals can win a home game. Top of the first. The Twins are red hot again. 3 straight singles, a walk, a couple more singles, 4 runs off of Marty Patton pitching on short rest versus Tom Murphy pitching on short rest. You get a 2-run homer by Mayberry, making it 4-2. But then you add on a couple more to the Twins. Jim Holt with a 2-run homer. It is 6-2. Then they pull Tom Murphy and ask the old grizzled veteran Stan Williams, can you close this game out? And he does. And it is an 8-3 final for the Twins. Where'd that come from? They were down 0-2, blowing 2 games at home, blowing home field advantage. And then the Royals, I guess they're a little too young, a little too inexperienced to deal with this veteran Twin team. They opened the door in Game 3, and the Twins blew it down and ran off 3 straight wins. Oh my goodness, folks. Let's take a look at the overall standings in this kooky division here. This division, you might as well pull names out of a hat when it comes playoff time, really. The American League Midwest, as we speak today, we have the White Sox, a game over 500. We have the Royals, a game under, Twins, 2 under, and the Brewers had a nice little series. They swept the Ohio team 3 straight to go a game under. So this series in this division, these numbers here, this yellow means that this division is 2 games over 500 against the National League. This is their net divisional record, 3 under. These numbers will be static the rest of the way because all the games I play from here on out are in division, which means in the American League they're -5 against the other divisions, and the only other divisions they played are the East and the North, and they've gone -5 against that. They do not play the American League West this year until the postseason tournament. So yeah, it's going to be a whole bunch of coin tosses and rock, paper, scissors in this division to determine playoff bounty, it looks like. But anyway, let's get back to a Game 6, and we got a great duel again. It was the first game of the series. We're right back to where that is again. It's Prince Rogers Nelson at Jim Cott. The first time we played this thing, it went 10 innings. It was a 1-1 affair. And let's see what happens this time. A lot has happened in the 4 games. Twins would like to win a series and get back to 500 if they can. Leading off for the Royals is Fred Patek, 2-9, skies the center. Lou Piniella, 2-4, flies to left. Amos Otis, 55, rolls to second. It'll be Rod Carew leading off for the Twins. 1-8 is a single. Double-A, he's been stealing a lot in this series, or attempting it. And he is going to be, this is going to be very close for the Double-A stealer. On his 2 on the road, gets a break. He's in there, barely by a whisker. Eric Soderholm, 3-7 is a walk. 2 on for Tony Oliva, red hot this series. 5-12, second X. Rojas, a 2-8 at second base. And a 2-8 makes an error. Very rare. Only 8 errors all season long, and that one comes at a terrible time for Cookie Rojas. The bases are loaded. It's Harmon Killebrew. 1-7! You just queued this thing up. My goodness, folks. Let's take a look at Killebrew's card from 1971. Step down from 70 and 69, of course, as he's getting older. But he still has 28 home runs and 114 walks and a .254 batting average. And this might as well be the Minnesota Twins baseball network, because this is a perfect inning for the Twins. You load him up for Harmon Killebrew, and he hits the granny on his own card on a 1-7. My goodness. This is a huge, man, I keep going back to game 3 where the Royals were an out away from going up 3-0. Since then, the Twins are blowing the doors off these kids. Larry Heisel, 5-9, rolls a second. And there is the first out recorded for Roger Nelson, who has a remarkable card. We didn't show the cards. I mentioned the names, but let's show you the cards. And I'm telling you, this is remarkable. Roger Nelson, 11-6, a 2.08. That's not a misprint. ERA in 1972 and 173 innings. They made him a starter 9. At least he doesn't pitch on 3 days rest, because that would really screw up the American League. And for the Twins, Jim Cott, I got to think this is his lowest career ERA. 10-2, 2.07 ERA in 113 innings. Very comparable data for these two cats. Cott, and Nelson. And yeah, that's what we're dealing with today. We already have more runs in the Killebrew Grand Slam. There's more runs than there were in Game 1 there. Jim Holt, 68. Single 1-6, lines out on an 8, and Mitterwald, 2-7 is a K. Now, Twins had a 4-0 lead in Game 5, I just played. Royals came back, made it 4-2, and then Twins added on 2 runs, made it 6-2. Let's see what happens today. Bob Oliver, 2-6, rolls short. John Mayberry, 2-2, rolls second. And Josephine, 56, flies left. Bottom of 2, Joe Levito, 62, left. Kurt Blefrey, 2-8's a walk. Rod Carew, 2-9 is a 4-6-3 double play. And that inning is done. Paul Popovich, 1-7 is a strikeout. Al Cowens, 37, double 1-2, base hit. Cookie Rojas. The whole thing, when you get down 4-0 and you've got some speedy guys here and hit and run guys, Rojas, Cowens, Patek, Amos Otis. And on the bench, you got Pat Kelly on the bench. But, you know, you can't do that when you're down 4 runs. Rather disappointing. Rojas swings away. 45, off the Cott card. Triple 1-4 single. It is a single dot, and they got runners on the corners. Playing back. No, they're going to play it up because Patek is an 8 bunter. He could drop one down. They're going to bring it up. 38, Patek, base hit right field. And the Royals got it going. Cowan scores. Rojas, does he go coast to coast with 1 out? No, he's not that quick. He doesn't want to challenge Oliva. First and second with 1 out. 4-1 now. Lupinella. 4-9 off Cott is short X. And we have Soderholm's playing short today instead of Chico Cardenas. And he's a 4 short. And it's a GBC that moves the runners to second and to third with 2 outs for Amos Otis. 34 rolls to third. Jim Cott avoids the disaster, and it is just a 4-1 game. Bottom of the third. Eric Soderholm, 57's a K. Tony Oliva, 1-8. Let's take a look at Tony Oliva's card. He is red hot and has multiple homers in this series, multiple 3-hit games in this series. Started the rally in the 9th inning of Game 3 in this series. And this is his magnificent 1971, a 337 average with 22 homers. Single 1-18 on 3.7? My goodness, how does that only hit 337? I'm thinking that should hit 350, 360, but percentages probably have a lot to do with that. 1-8 is double 1-18. It's just going to be a single. He missed it. Roll to 19 there. All right, it's Killebrew. Fans giving him a warm ovation here as he steps in the box for the second time today. 62. Fielder's choice. Now I got a new runner at first for Larry Heisel. 2-6. That's a strikeout. 4-1 into the 4th. It's Bob Oliver. 6-12, second X. Second baseman Carew is a 2E16, and he makes the play. Now, that, unfortunately, is that crazy kooky rule about a DH rule and a 6-12. So Cott will hit his point of weakness. We'll try and nurse Cott in the spirit of the game through 5 innings so he can qualify for a win if possible, knowing that he's not feeling very well. John Mayberry, 38 Ks, and has hit that point of weakness. Dwayne Josephine, 6'11", left X. Heisel's a 3E10, and he makes the grab. Normally, you would just take that pitcher out, but because I had just 8-man pitching staffs, I can't just take guys out and 20-man rosters. I would just ruin these bullpens and ruin, you know. So what I do is I sort of modify the strat rules and come up with a solution that helps everybody. Jim Holt in the bottom of the 4th, 34, rolls a 3rd. Mitterwald, George Mitterwald. Let's take a look at George Mitterwald. He rolls a 1-3 on his own card. That is gone. That's a ton of home runs, 16 of them in 73 in 432 at-bats. And George Mitterwald makes it a 5-1 game. Joe Levito, 4'11", first C. Kurt Blefrey, 68, single on a 6 off of Nelson, and he gets it on a 3. Not Roger Nelson's day, folks. Rod Carew, 46, flies to center. Cott, let's see if we can get him through this inning and then probably hook him, and the Twin bullpen's going to have to close this thing out. Popovich, 1/7's a K. Cowens, 2-6, center. And Rojas, 58, flies to right field. So Cott will leave. That injury is still nagging him. And the Twins are going to have to figure out how to get 12 outs and win this series with this kind of raggedy bullpen. So, bottom of the 5th, it'll be Eric Soderholm. 38 is a single. Tony Oliva, been on twice. 48 pops out. They get him out. Killebrew, 46 is a K and with 2 outs. Heisel, 67 is a strikeout. Well, let's take a break. We're going to do that at the bottom of the 5th. We'll do it at the top of the 6th. And let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
All right, top of 6, 5-1. Twins got to figure this one out. I think they're going to continue with the lefty, but it'll be John Morris, as Stan Williams pitched a lot of innings in Game 5. So they're going to try and go Morris, Campbell, Reichert if they can. John Morris, another lefty, they picked him up in the offseason off of waivers. He was a Brewer in 71, 2.2, 371 ERA, 68 innings. Much better against lefties, however, not against righties. So it doesn't bode well for the Twins. In the 6th, top of the lineup, Freddie Patek. 2-4, pops to second. Lou Piniella, 58, flies to right. And with 2 outs, Amos Otis. 5'11", left X. This is Heisel, a 3E10 in left, and he makes the catch. Solid inning for Morris, extending the Cott start. Bottom of the 6th, it's Jim Holt. Nelson can't give up any more runs. 64, and well, as soon as I say that, 64 off Roger Nelson's card for a lefty is gone. It is 6-1 Twins. My goodness. Nelson's the best pitcher on the Royal staff, by a mile, I might add. And this is one of the weaker bullpens in baseball. The Royals are really showing themselves to be kind of a pretender suddenly after winning the first 2 games, and they don't look very good at all here. They're going to need a remarkable comeback, or their season could be going the wrong direction. Mitterwald homered his last time up, 58 strikeout. Levito, 53, pitcher. And Kurt Blefrey, 1-2. Short A. He will leave the game. Chico Cardenas will come in for him, be the new shortstop. Soderholm will move from shortstop to third base, and the third baseman, Killebrew, will now be your DH. Mitterwald still catching, Roof's on the bench, Cleo James on the bench. We go to the 7th inning. Morris, he's got Oliver, Mayberry. We'll let him pitch through to Mayberry and see what happens here. Bob Oliver, 32, short. John Mayberry, 2-5 is a base hit to center field. And that'll do it as a string of righties is coming up. An inning in the 3rd for Morris, that's good enough. Let's get this thing in the hands of Bill Campbell and Pete Reichert at the back end of this Twin bullpen. Bill Campbell comes on in the 7th. He's a relief 3. In 74, very young Bill Campbell pitched 120 innings, 8-7 with a 2.63 ERA. A couple years later, in 76, I think he wins 17 games out of the bullpen. Some ridiculous high number. Bill Campbell here. He will face Josephson or a pinch hitter. They'll go the pinch hitter route. They'll go to Ed Kirkpatrick, Mr. Utility. You will pinch hit here for Josephson. 4-5 off of Campbell. Triple 1-8 single. It is single ... And the Royals have it going on in the 7th with runners on the corners. They'll play it back, hoping for a double play. Here's Paul Popovich. 43, center X. In center field, we have Joe Levito, a 3-10 in center field. He makes the catch. It will be a sac fly. So, it is now a grand slam affair, 6-2, with a runner at first and 2 outs, and you got the righty Cowens, and they're gonna pinch hit Pat Kelly. See if he can do some damage here. Pat Kelly, 59 off Campbell is a strikeout. Stretch time here in Minnesota. We've been enjoying listening to the piano stylings of Marion McPartland, a Minnesota jazz great pianist, bringing her accompaniment to the contest here. A little bit of piano music here for you, folks. 1972 collection. Marion McPartland. One of the more obscure selections we've had in the series, in the 7th inning stretch series. Bottom of the 7th, 6-2 game. I think Nelson, he will continue into this game because he can't pitch on 3 days rest, and he's such a great pitcher. He needs to pitch as much as possible, so he will continue into the 7th. It'll be Carew leading it off. 66, triple 1-4, base hit. That's a triple. Oh boy, Carew's at third. They have to bring the infield up for Eric Soderholm. 2-7's a base hit, and you know what, folks? I think there is a towel being waved. Yeah, that's it for Nelson. In the spirit of this game, he has just been bad today. And he is gone after 6 innings and a couple batters. Oh boy. Rich Hinton will come out of the Royal bullpen. 2-4, the 4.50 ERA for your 71 White Sox. Rich Hinton. With a runner at first and nobody out. And it is T.O. Tony Oliva. Been on twice today. Saw his card. 1-5. Tony Oliva making a very late run at an MVP in this season, folks. Good. We're going to have to look at his stats. Yeah, I might have had a slow start, but he's made up for it. 1-5. It is gone. It is now 9-2 Twins. My goodness. Killebrew, 34, flies to center. He'll also leave the game, and they'll bring in James into the outfield. Heisel becomes the new DH. Heisel, 63. Pitcher X. Hitting's a knee 0. Makes the play. And Jim Holt. 4-4. Third X. He's a 3E. 20. Makes the play. All right, 9-2. Bill Campbell will continue. Cookie Rojas. 54. Center X. Levito's a 3E10, and that's a 2-base error. Runner at second for Patek. 2-5, short. Piniella, 49, is a walk. Oh boy. 2 on with 1 out. Amos Otis, 68, flies to center. And with 2 outs, it's Bob Oliver. 1-3, pops to first base. Campbell gets there an inning and 2/3. Hitton gave you an inning. Let's have, well, Bird will come on in the 8th inning just to pitch here in the hopes of his team coming back. Doug Bird, let's take a look at him. 4-4 in 73 with a 2.99 ERA, 102 innings. He's having an excellent year as a closer. This is a desperation move, of course, as they're about to lose this series 4-2. But he'll come on in the 8th as the second best pitcher on the team behind Roger Nelson. It'll be batting for Mitterwald. It will be Phil Roof. 1-8 for Roof as a K. Joe Levitto, 53 first. And Chico Cardenas in a new 9-hitter. Second X. Chico Cardenas to Rojas at 2-8. And he makes the play. You know, one of the big, I believe, wasn't the Carew single off of, oh no, the error was off of Rojas. Yeah, so that error off of Cookie Rojas in the first inning was so huge. It should have been a double play. You might still give up a home run in that case. It might be a 2-run game, but it just went from bad to worse for the Royals. Into the 9th, Pete Reichert will come on in. Reichert was actually a Dodger in 72 with a 2-3 record and a 2.25 ERA in 52 innings. But the Twins picked him up many years ago when he was with Baltimore. And they've often had the Pete Reichert, Ron Pernowski, Stan Williams bullpen in effect. But he'll come on in to finish this series off. John Mayberry. 1-2 is hit by the pitch. Now you got Ed Kirkpatrick. 66 off Reichert. Double one, single dot, and he comes in throwing nothing. Runners on the corners. Back for Popovich. 48, second X. Now you got Carew at 2E16 second baseman, and that is a double play. Rod Carew, the 2 second baseman, and that's great that he's a 2 here, as it will turn into a 4 in a few years. But right now he is a good defensive second baseman, and that is big in that moment, preventing any kind of rally. Pat Kelly, well, 1-5 for Pat Kelly is a double, so they actually do get a run. Kelly's at second in a 9-3 game for Rojas. 6-12 rolls to the pitcher. My goodness, folks, the Twins rip off 4 straight wins, and I think they're out of last place now. It'll be interesting to see now what the standings look like. I think it'll be a total mess. Tag, you're out, or you're it. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the American League Midwest. But this competition is actually pretty good because, I mean, the same thing has happened in the American League West as well. Just mediocrity. Doug Bird struck out a guy in his 8th inning. Rich Hinton, oh boy, gave up a solo home run, allowing inherited runners to score for Roger Nelson, who just did not have today. 9 hits, 8 runs. 4 in the first, 3 were earned, 4, 5, 7 earned total. Just 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. The long ball just killed him today. Pete Reichert comes on in the 9th inning, gives up 2 hits, a run and a walk. Inning and 2/3 for Bill Campbell. Faced Kirkpatrick and Kelly. Gave up a hit, a K, a hit, a walk, and a K. John Morris, inning and a 1/3. Did give up a hit, and that run scored, inherited runner, unfortunately for him. Got himself through 5 innings with the injury. 2, 3, 4, 3 hits and a run. Didn't walk anybody, struck out 3. 1-009, 0-1-0-8. 9-10-3-7. 9-10-3-7, 2-4-2-7. How about the home team? Win, win, win for the home team. They finally, the fans, they got a win. Poor Kansas City, their fans did not. And now the Royals fall a second game under 500. And I think the Twins are no longer underwater. They were drowning, but I think they have come up for air here, the Twins. Let's go check it out. The cumulative box for both squads. We'll start with the Twins. Winners 4-2. Not quite. So close. 10 and 11. They can see the water line. Just like a frog, their eyes are popping out of on the surface and looking around there. They're almost at 500. They are hitting 268 with a 4.11 ERA. Those numbers are okay, as you can imagine. For a team that is okay, as you can imagine. Let's look at T.O. And, oh boy, folks. Yes, 32 for 80. 400. He's hitting 400. He's got 5 homers and 17 RBIs. Those are decent numbers. We'll put him in the MVP race. He'll be in the top 10s somewhere, I'm sure. Otherwise, it's been kind of a meh kind of year for the Twins until now. And I'm not sure if now is just because the competition has faded for the Royals. Killebrew, not doing a whole lot. No. Carew, how about him? Is he doing a lot? No. What is Rod Carew doing, you might be asking? Well, he's 18 for 89. So that's what happens, folks. You get a 350 Rod Carew card, and it's hitting 202. Well, that might explain why these Twins are not above 500. So, yeah. And the Royals, oh boy, they were looking like the biggest contender to the Chi Sox, and they still can be. They are hitting 283. Got some lusty hitters here, but the pitching is starting to fade with a 4.13 ERA. Roger Nelson, that's his first loss. He's been trying, folks. He's 5-1 with a complete game. Marty Patton's 1-5, so that kind of cancels each other out. Doug Bird does have 9 saves with the 11 wins. That's pretty impressive. He could be the all-star closer for all we know. We do have 6 homers for John Mayberry. He's doing some nice stuff there. Lead the club in homers and RBI. Lou Piniella, 36 for 93. That's hitting 387. That's a nice start for Lou. And then lastly, we'll just take one more peek at the standings to look at this jumbled mess in this division. And there it is, folks. So the Twins and Brewers left for dead. Combined to go 7-2 against this Ohio team and the Royals. And in the final series for the All-Star break, White Sox do face the Royals. So, and then the Twins and Brewers face each other. So, yeah, it'll be a jumbled mess. And the way, of course, this season works is after the All-Star break, the first and second place teams play again. So the White Sox and Royals might be able to see them play a best of 14, 2 best of 7s back to back. So anyway, fun, interesting baseball from the American League Midwest. And thanks for checking this out. We'll see you next time.